All right, so I'm going to be recording today's workout. What I'm doing today isn't actually the first time I've done it. I tried this last week. Um, it's just I'm actually going to be kind of talking through my workout today as I'm going to go through it. So essentially, what I'm doing is 3 sets. Each set, I'm doing 6 laps of the course. But I'm running as singles, and I'm doing it as 1 lap on a minute. So what that means is I'm going to run 1 lap. I'll have the clock started, and however long it takes me to complete 1 lap, whatever the remaining time is, that's my rest. So for simple math, if I complete the lap in 15 seconds, I'll have 45 seconds of rest. If I complete in 20 seconds, I'll have 40 seconds of rest. So I'm going to be doing that 6 times, and after 6, I'm going to rest. I'll give myself some good rest time, about anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, and I'm going to go again. Now, I'm not going to talk during as I'm running, but in between, I'll probably say a few words here and there just to kind of give an idea of what I'm trying to focus on during this workout. Anyway, I'm going to get things going. Going in less than 10 seconds here. And right now, my goal for this first one is just go quick, but not necessarily all out. All right, so that took me about 17 seconds, 17.09. That means I'm going to have 43 seconds of rest before I start the next one. I want to make sure, though, that this clip doesn't fall off during my runs. Now, I'm being a little conservative right now in terms of my speed because I'm kind of rushing everything for today. I didn't really necessarily get much of a warm-up in, so I'm almost treating this first set as my warm-up. I'm going to go here soon. All right, so that second one was 16.95, roughly. It's a little quicker than the first one. Last week, though, I was actually running these much quicker. Usually low 16s, high 15-second laps. So I was really trying to work on the speed aspect, but I'm doing things a little bit different for today. What I'm trying to do right now is go more, trying to go more the pace that I want to do for when I attempt my 240 time. A few more seconds here, round number 3. That's 16.78 for a third round. Part of what I'm also trying to do here with these runs is like, there's times, yes, I'm shooting for, but it's not just, I'm not just trying to go in terms of speed. Speed is going to be a part of it, but I'm also trying to cut down wherever the transitions are going to be. Particularly, it's at the end cone. Trying to come out of that a little quicker and not be too slow. So 16.6. Now that I'm warming up a little bit more, my times are naturally getting a little bit faster. I want to make sure that I start off relatively easy for myself and just as the body warms up, let my speed pick up on its own rather than me trying to force that speed. That's 4 rounds, 5 rounds coming up here, or 5th round coming up in 3 seconds. $16.84. All right. So when I won my 249, that was back in 2018 now. I think if I did the math, my average was roughly 17 seconds a lap. So if I'm aiming for 240, I think I did the math earlier. I need something like 16.6 as an average, assuming I can still do the machine and vault quick. Last set here. All right, 16.41 on that last one. So, just did 6 sets there. 6 laps done as singles. I want to make sure I give myself some good recovery before I start the next round. But the times I'm running today, I think this is kind of where I want to try to keep it at right now. Ultimate goal is that particular pace I want to try to maintain for all 6 laps, if possible. Now, right now I can do them as singles with the rest in between, but I know if I were to try to keep that pace right now, abilities aren't there yet. So essentially what I'm doing with this is I'm trying to train my body at the pace I want to be at, even though I'm not capable of holding it for all 6. As my fitness improves, as I try to manipulate this workout a little bit more, I'll try to extend it. So rather than just treating this as singles, I'll try going for 2 laps. Maybe give myself a bit more rest time. And then try to do it for 3 laps, and then 4 laps, and keep building upon it. Eventually, I want to get to the point of course, being able to hold roughly whatever I average for those 6, for all of them all together with no break in between, but still have that energy left over to be able to effectively get through the machine and the vault in a good enough time to give myself some kind of fighting chance to hit 240 by October. So that's what I'm trying to play around with right now. I was mentioning earlier that in terms of hopefully I was trying to convey it right, but my lap times isn't only determined by the speed I'm running. It's also going to be determined by how I take each obstacle, how I try to come out of those tight turns, such as at the end where cone 4 is. Not sure if you're able to see it in the video, but one of the things I'm trying to do on the stairs is once I'm hitting the top, once I'm on that top step, I'm not trying to get tall, I'm still trying to stay low. So it's almost like I'm just gliding over top of the stairs versus giving myself that little pause at the very top. Anyhow, it's already been about 2.5 minutes of rest. So I think I'll just keep it as a 3-minute rest time in between. I mean, I'm feeling pretty good cardio-wise. Legs, they're getting a little bit heavy. Didn't help that I did some walking lunges earlier, but still just going to keep it a 3-minute rest at this point. All right. Less than 10 seconds, I'm going to start the second set. 6 laps done as singles, all on 1 minute. That includes run time and rest time. Here we go. So here I'm trying to stay low. I'm avoiding trying to get too high, get too tall, staying low again. (16.33). Now, when it comes to the jumps like the hurdles or the mat jump, myself, my left leg is my dominant leg when it comes to jumping. That's the one I won't be taking off from. So right now I'm doing that when it comes to the mat jump, but hurdles, just the way I'm approaching it, I'm jumping off my right, so I'm just going with it rather than trying to force something that is unnecessary. 3 seconds here. Oh, how about that? I should get 16.33 again. Now I'm not sure again if you can see, probably not right now, but when I'm going around cone 4, at the moment I'm still actually running around it. I'm not doing that spin method. But for myself, when I'm running around it, I get real low to the point where my arm is basically kind of sweeping through. Not saying that's what you gotta do, but that's the technique I use. So I've done 2, this is number 3 coming up. A couple seconds here. (16.65). Now I'd say part of that slowdown of 0.3 seconds got kind of slowed down a bit as I came around to cone 1 instead of maintaining my speed all the way through. So actually, something I'll point out here, cone number 6, start cone number 1, then cone number 2, I like to call it the triangle area. It's the one area where you can keep a steady pace all throughout. You're not going to have any obstacle until you hit that mat jump. You want to try to maintain a smooth line as long as possible. All right, so number 4. (16.35). 4 sets done, 2 more to go. So let's just say I were to hit, we'll call it 16.4. Let's just round it up. 16.5 each lap. 16 seconds. 3. 16 seconds is 136. Then you got another half lap. If I were to average 16.5 seconds per lap, I'd be finishing the course in 139. Oh, that means I'd have to do machine and vault in a minute. That's going to be a tough one to do. Because I doubt I'll actually have the energy. But I'm also assuming I'm doing that with current abilities. The idea is to be able to do that down the road. 16.4 on that one. See, I can think 16.5. If I do 16.5 seconds as an average per lap, I finish the course in 139. If I want to do 240, then basically machine has to be done in 30 seconds in the vault. Has to be done in 30 seconds. Now, while fresh, I could potentially do the machine in 30 seconds, but throw in fatigue, I'm pushing more like 40. So, yeah, I don't know. Shit. 16:59. Oh man, I lost track. Was that number 5 or was that number 6? You know what? I'll just do one more, just in case. I'm pretty sure I did 6. I just lost track. That's all right. I'll do one more here. $16.22. All right. I'll give myself 3 minutes of rest here. I'm feeling good. I mean, I'm pushing it. I'm breathing heavier, but I'm still feeling good. And this is the important thing when it comes to training. When we're trying to improve our conditioning. Conditioning are, let's just call it high intensity workouts. It's not just a matter of getting yourself tired. I mean, anyone can make a workout to make you tired. The real question is, are you getting better? Are you improving your performance in whichever workout it might be, right? So, I mean, if I just use this as an example, if I were to do this on a weekly basis, there's a couple ways, more than a couple ways, but I'll just mention 2 ways. There's a couple ways I would go about measuring my improvement in performance. I'm either naturally running faster each lap with the same amount of rest time, or I can reduce the rest time and try to keep the same speed all throughout. That's how I'm measuring actual progress, and not just simply going by, am I feeling good, or am I feeling tired? Tired is very subjective. I mean, there's times where you can do a workout, you might feel like crap before the start of the workout, but it ends up actually going great from a performance perspective. But vice versa, you could be feeling great going into a workout, but you perform poorly, again, from a performance perspective. So we can't just base our workouts solely on feelings. Because feelings, again, is very subjective. We need to base it on objective measurements, putting some concrete numbers to what it is that we're doing, and use that to track our performance. All right, so got about another minute here. So that's what we got to think about. Anytime we're doing high intensity workouts to boost our performance, it's not just to simply make us tired. Again, anyone can make you tired. You can make yourself tired. But are you actually getting better? Are you performing better? That's the real key. Got about another 30 seconds here. So I'm going to go one more set. 6 laps, string them as singles. Each lap is on 30 seconds. Or sorry, 1 minute, I should say. That includes rest time, the run time, and the rest time. About 5 more seconds here. Here we go. All right, 16:04. So, first lap on the first set, start at 17:09. That was the first one. I was treating it relatively easy. Second set, I did 16:33 on that first lap, and this one I did 16:42. And honestly, I felt a little slower than 16:42. But again, that goes back to the whole subjective feeling. Just because you feel a certain way doesn't necessarily mean you are slow or you are fast. So always remember, as you come around on these laps, times aren't only based on your run speed, it's all on how you take the obstacles. 16:43 on that one. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure on the last set I did an extra one. That's okay. See, I'm pushing it. I'm not trying to kill myself. High intensity workouts don't have to be, I'm borrowing this from a run coach that I follow, but high intensity workouts don't have to mean see God workouts. Right? You don't need to be dying by the end of it. Maybe the occasional workout here and there, but not every workout has to be that way. $16.41, huh? Pretty consistent there for last three. I am slowing down a bit though. Not necessarily because I'm tired, but all the impact I'm doing, starting to feel on my shin a little bit. And here's another lesson. When we start doing too much too soon, one of the first things we see or we hear from redliners when they're first training with us is, oh, my shins are hurting. I'll talk a bit about that, actually maybe more towards the end once I'm done all this. All right, 3 down, 3 to go. I didn't like that one. All right, 4 down, 16.29. All right, so you heard me say I didn't like that one when I was heading out to cone 4. And that's because I hit the top, and instead of trying to stay low, I kind of made myself tall. That's why I didn't like it. I mean, still, got 16.29. I think that's my fastest split so far. But it could have been cleaner. 10 seconds, 2 more sets. Here we go. $16.12. Feeling that right shin though, especially when I'm landing on the mat jump. Now, for anyone here or anyone who's watching this right now, if you come to Redline regularly and you know you can clear that mat jump, no problem every single time, even when you're tired, and you know you can still do those hurdles, you're starting to feel your shins speaking to you, don't do the jumps anymore. Maybe don't be aggressive coming off the stairs either, because that's just going to keep wearing down on the body. And the last thing you want to do is have to take time off, extended time off from training. Last one. All right, so that last one, 15.46. And I purposely pushed that one because I knew it was my last one. But I didn't feel it was all that clean. Well, most likely over the next few days, I'm going to avoid, well, maybe not so much running. I'll probably still be good with easy running. I don't think I'll be doing the laps. I just did 18 laps total, all of them quick. So that's a lot of force on my right leg when I'm landing on that mat jump there. So I'll stick to, if I'm going to go high intensity, I'll just stick to the Aerodyne bike in the meantime, or cycling, or any non-impact cardio training. Just make sure I can still get cardio training done, and I can go intense with it without putting that hard impact on the legs. Of course, still continue with my strength training. Shins ain't an issue when I strength train. But just speaking to the whole shin splints thing, I mean, part of the reason people start feeling pain in their shins is trying to do too much too soon. And I think that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm kind of pushing it a bit too much in terms of the obstacle course and all that hard impact. So I want to make sure I start dialing it back a bit. Again, going back to any redliner who's watching this right now, if you know you can clear the mat no problem even when you're tired, and you can clear the hurdles and come off those stairs no problem even when tired, I would suggest avoid mat jumps and hurdles in the meantime. You might have to be careful with some of the high intensity runs that you do as well, and look at other modalities. But if you know the hard landing on the jumps is affecting the shins, then eliminate them. Because again, last thing you want is put yourself out of the running for, or at least not put yourself out of the running, but basically not being able to put in the quality training that you want to put in, right? The training is not all about just push, 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 push. It's how well we can recover from one workout to the next, to the next, to the next. That's actually how our body gets better. That's how our performance improves. It's through the recovery itself, and not so much trying to go hard, 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 hard. Anyway, if you watched all this up until the end, thank you for sticking with me. And if you got any questions about anything I talked about in today's workout, by all means, feel free to leave a comment below. But also, if you enjoyed me talking throughout this workout, let me know if you want to see more of this. Otherwise, take care. Have a good one.